Hello! Hold up. 3, 2, 1. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, back there. Children, adults, seen Ellie alike. Welcome back to Spyro the Dragon, Spyro 1 on the Spyro Reignited Trilogy game. Or collection pack, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, yeah. In the last part, we finished off Jacques and another level, which technically wasn't finished because of something that you're going to have to watch that episode to learn more about. But anyway, in this part, we're finally going to head off to the last level in the world, last level in this game, and I will say, just off the bat, it is going to be the last level, but you might want to be prepared for somewhat of a packed episode, somewhat. Now, the way I usually did, at least for the last few worlds, at least like the second world, then the third world, fourth world, this type of stuff, the way I usually do it is that usually I go into a world, finish it up, like, or at least a hub world, and finish off whatever's needed around the place. Like, I collect all the gems, dragons, get any other miscellaneous things here and there that's needed. But for other stuff, you know, except for the first world, because I didn't do that because I thought it was different, or I didn't really do the thing I wanted to do, and I was explaining stuff, you know, all that stuff. So now I do want to mention that the next world, Gnasty Gnorc's place, or the Nexus as it's called, with a G, like Gnexus, Nexus. Remember, Gnasty Gnorc has a silent G in front of everything. So anyway, so Gnasty Gnorc's Nexus place is the hub world for the final world. What it has 3 other levels. Well, technically, it has 4 other levels, but 2 of those levels are regular, you know, platforming levels. And I think they're a little bit longer than usual, depending on how you look at it. So keep that in mind. But the other few levels, like in that place, the last 2 of those, one is a boss fight and one is a secret thing that
Gnasty's world is not the friendliest place you'll ever find.
yeah, I assume.
Ready to go?
Yeah, Gnasty Gnorc's world. So, the other 2 levels are one secret level that will unlock as soon as we do something else, and the other level is just, you know, Gnasty Gnorc's boss level. So, what I'm going to be doing here, at least for this particular, you know, setup, or at least what these next videos are going to do, is that this video will just be Gnasty Gnorc's, like, the main 2 levels of the Gnasty Gnorc world, or the Nexus as it's called, and then after that, I will just do Gnasty Gnorc's boss fight in a separate video, along with the secret level, and you'll see why I need to do the secret level in and of itself a little bit later. So, keep that in mind as we get through this, okay? Because, oh boy. This is going to be one hell of a journey for me.
Need a lift?
No, I'm fine, Just double checking whether or not you say anything. Now, this is the Gnorc Nexus. This place has 200 gems and 2 dragons. And the reason why I'm also including this, because usually the way I handle this sort of like, you know, a compilation of levels is that I usually perform most of the actions for the level, collect the gems, and then do the flight levels. But there's no flight level here, so, you know, I'm kind of stuck there. But the way I'm going to be able to do this is that since this level is literally small and I really can't do much, I'm going to have to wait until certain things happen. So that's why I'm going to be doing the 2 levels that are available off the bat, because guess what? You can't collect all the gems or the dragons in this particular hub world off the bat. You have to free this dragon and then go off and do a level, and then he'll disappear, and then another crystal dragon will appear where, you know, it'll be right here where you can find him, and he'll just tell you about something else. So keep that in mind. Like, you know, it's a bit like, oh, the Gnorc. Like, I need to do a level and then come back and save, come back here, and there will be a dragon here, and you'll be thinking, oh, did I free him? No. It's supposed to happen so that way they can tell you stuff. So, you know, keep that in mind. But, hell, does anyone remember this guy?
Hey, didn't I already free you?
He got recaptured.
Gnasty's world now, Spyro. And you are the dragon that must defeat him.
Bring him on. I'm ready.
Reach the exit in each of Gnasty's lands. Then you can challenge the Gnorc himself.
I don't know why you need to tell me that, but okay. But yeah, as you can see, they're somewhat recycling at least 2 other dragons, because the next dragon that's going to appear here is going to be familiar too. So keep that in mind. But yeah, so each of these things is something different. This, I'm pretty sure, is the next world, at least level for me to play. This one is, I think, Gnasty Gnorc's thing itself, and this one is something that they're going to refer to later. So for now, we're just going to get on to the next world, the Gnorc Cove. So keep that in mind, because like you will see another dragon there, I promise you. At least I think so. At least after this level. It's either after this level or the next one. And we'll get to that when we get to that. But yeah, I can't collect all the gems in that area until after I finish off one of the things, like one of the other levels, or at least 2 of the levels. Okay, and welcome to Gnorc Cove, everyone. And that's it, really. No, but seriously though, I want you to keep that in mind, okay? I just want to make sure people understand that. Okay, I just wanted to point this out because I'm pretty sure this is something that certain people will ask, or at least see and think, huh, I'm wondering what those barrels do. Yeah, whatever you do, don't, like, hit the barrels or knock them out near you. These, on the other hand, oh, I thought they could do that, never mind. So, yeah, TNT, this is kind of the gimmick of the level. TNT barrels and regular barrels. Well, you know, steel barrels and TNT barrels. Both barrels explode. One can be pushed and explodes, you know, without you blowing it on contact. You know, at least you can touch it. The other one explodes just with fire breath. So, use these things wisely, okay? Because, oh boy, this is going to be interesting. You really should have gotten rid of that when you can, man. Although, again, you can use the barrels if you want for your advantage and hit other enemies with them. And also break stuff with them, like the indestructible boxes and stuff like that, all that type of things. You could do that. It's dependent on whether or not you want to. I'm pretty sure certain people can relate to the whole, like, the look this guy has. It's like a 1,000-yard dead-eye stare. Whoa. Not really advantageous to have it, like, right next to your head, man. It's, like, really dangerous. But, yeah. Man, it's still kind of funny, at least to me, seeing this type of stuff happen. It's like, maybe you should put the thing down. Okay, you're not? Okay, whatever. Thankfully, though, none of these levels have any secret thing to do. Like, thankfully, that's my saving grace for this level. It's like, as you guys know, the skill points are attached to something you have to do in a specific level secretly, but thankfully, none of these next levels have that.
Spyro, I expect Gnasty's really starting to worry about you.
I'd be shaking in my Gnorc boots if I were him.
Okay, anyway. Yeah, by the way, yeah, like I said before, they'd be reusing dragons in certain levels. This is where they're reusing dragons in certain levels, because, oh boy, this one's more obvious, because now they're reusing dragons from all the levels now. For this place. And look, I can understand, like, it's a bit harder to, you know... Really? That's it? I didn't think it actually hit. I was thinking, like, did the bear have a gem? Oh, no, okay. Anyway. Real quick to explain. I understand, like, you know, this is Gnasty Gnorc's world. You should have something where it's like every dragon is somewhat just the same, just to showcase, like, oh, he's getting all the dragons from all of the realms, or all of the worlds you've been at. Like, you know, the Dreamweaver's world, Peacekeepers, Beastmakers, you know, all this stuff. But at the same time, it feels a little bit lazy that they couldn't at least design 1 or 2 more new dragons. I think there might be 1 or 2 more new dragons, but I'm not sure. Again, maybe they could have done something a little bit different. I don't know. Maybe they could have, like, said, like, oh, thanks, I was recaptured by Gnasty Gnorc. Thanks for saving me again. Maybe they could have added that little dialogue just to give some explanation as to why some of these dragons look the same, you know, that type of stuff, but whatever works for them, I guess. Look, again, I'm not complaining too much. It's still a good game regardless of anything that's reused. I'm not against, like, reusing some stuff here and there, as long as it's, like, either makes sense or it's okay to do that. It's like, it's a little bit here and there, whether or not it makes sense, but it's alright by me, as long as it's, like, it's fine as a general whole. Like, does it make complete sense? No, but it's at least okay if it at least tries to make sense. I don't know. Again, I understand, like, development of games can either go one of two ways. It can be either relatively work hassle, like really like a work hassle load, and which you try to pour everything you can into it, and maybe the product will turn out okay or pretty great. These, you know, some people put their heart and souls in certain games. But, you know, at the same time, it can end up being like a workaholic load where it's like it's too much work, too much stuff, and all that other things that really build up, and you're just exhausted afterwards. So, you know, I've heard all the horror stories / you know, all the stories like about like games flopping because of either not enough time given to them or just not enough you know, manpower given to it, and all this other stuff about like whether or not the game's development was plagued with issues, or whether or not game's development was actually made good, or stuff like that. You get my point. There's a lot of bad stories about like game development being that way. But considering what I hear from this game, I don't think it was that bad of a development cycle, but yeah, I'm willing to forgive some things, okay? So that's all I wanted to point out. I think, how many dragons are in this world again? 2? 3? I forget.
Wow, I never thought I'd be rescued, especially by such a little dragon. What I mean is, I always believed in you, Spyro.
You gotta believe.
Oh, I miss that. Yeah, that's a reference to another game series that started off on the PlayStation 1. Surprised it got another sequel on the PlayStation 2, but unfortunately, that's it for it, really. Man, like, I kind of feel bad for Parappa the Rapper, mainly because it's like, it's an innocent and nice enough, like, sort of, like, tone for a rhythm game, and I think, like, oh, that could do well in some other circles, but no, it kind of got forgotten for a bit until, like, added in certain other places, and then kind of just left to no longer be anything else after that. Well, technically there's 3 games in the Parappa the Rapper series, but there's one that's a spin-off, but whatever. Real quick to explain what I mean. Parappa the Rapper had one game that was on the PlayStation 1, and then another game on the PlayStation 2. And then a spin-off that was on the PlayStation 1 that happened a little bit later after Parappa the Rapper 1, and then, nothing else after that. There were some cameo, well, sort of. What happened next was kind of odd, but kind of cool. Okay, what happened with Parappa the Rapper was that, in Parappa the Rapper, what was it? Oh yeah, Parappa the Rapper himself, as a character, he actually appeared in PlayStation All-Stars, which in and of itself didn't do too well as a game, so, you know, it's a little bit, like, questionable whether or not that was a good thing or a bad thing, but, you know, it's nice to see that he was represented there, at least. But after a while, they actually decided, hey, let's actually release the 2 Parappa the Rapper games in a HD remix or compilation thing. From what I hear, it's okay as a collection, and what it features is just Parappa the Rapper 1 and 2, I think. Maybe O Jamalami, which is the spin-off I was talking about. I think. I'm not 100% sure. Like, again, it's I can't remember whether or not this is the case or not, so take what I say with a grain of salt. So yeah, that's Parappa the Rapper 1 and 2, and 3 if you count that. So, I don't know, it's just something I think that's interesting. It's like, the guy doesn't have that many games to work with, and is somewhat getting... And I don't know whether or not he's actually going to make a comeback in any regards or not. It's like, maybe he might make a comeback, I'm not sure. Like, I could be wrong. Ha! I knew I could do that. I was thinking like, I'm pretty sure I could do this. And I'm pretty sure I could have avoided that, but I was stupid there, so we don't talk about that. Anyway, so yeah, I was thinking like, okay, ha ha ha, ha 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 ha, ha 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 ha. Anyway, so yeah, if you're maybe asking why do I care in any regards, it's like, well, I did own, well, not own actually, I borrowed it from a friend. I did play Parappa the Rapper 1, and I liked it. Later on, I decided to actually look up the series and actually watch it and all that stuff. So keep that in mind, I guess. And after that, I looked up Parappa the Rapper 2 and watched the rest of it on a particular YouTuber's channel. And it's still charming and fun, honestly. I think it's fun and charming in its own way. So there's my little explanation for those two things. I don't know. I just think it's kind of like kind of sad whenever a character for a series that's actually either decently good or actually okay, or okay or good in and of itself kind of gets the shaft and just gets forgotten about for a while. It's like you didn't even make a trilogy technically speaking with your games, man, and you just died and no one cared about you for a while. But thankfully some people do care and seem to have brought him slightly back. Although I'm not sure how Parappa the Rapper is actually going to be after this. It's like, is he going to actually come back, or is he just going to, falter and that's it? Meh, I don't know. Because, like, technically anyone can come back at this point for the game industry. It's like, technically it's like technically anyone can. So, if Bubsy can do it, anyone can do it. So, that's an unfortunate factor, but it still counts. But whatever works. Is that it? Okay, we're good? Okay, good. Okay, hold on. Well, like I said before, there was a whole issue with, like, recording softwares and things turning off, so for now, I'm gonna focus on just, doing this, like, recording the software itself on something a little bit more simpler, a little bit more clear. Well, not clear, just a little bit better. And then after that, I'm just gonna, like, focus on playing my games the way I want to. But anyway, so yeah, I moved my setup a little bit, or at least not by much, but mainly the recording software itself, so that way it doesn't turn off like this. Or it doesn't cause, like, a huge problem and mess. Hopefully I'm right and it doesn't, but I could be wrong in that assessment. So, who knows? Who really knows? So for now, I'm hoping that with this recording, nothing goes too wrong, at least. I hope so. Again, it's never 100% whether or not it's not gonna go wrong or something, but, a guy can dream, a guy can hope and wish and pray. So, So for now, let's just get started and get going, shall we? I don't know, it just feels like that. Oh yeah, there is something I can talk about, at least that's different from, like, me, myself, for this level. Real quick to explain, if you noticed, these guys are carrying paint guns, as far as I can tell. Or goop guns, I don't know what you want to call them. Oh, come on, it should hit, but okay, whatever. But yeah, as you could tell, goop guns. Some people have issues with that. I'm not sure why. Well, I understand it. It's like, in the original, those guys carried actual machine guns, or Gatling guns. These guys carried actual guns in the original. So they kind of semi-censored it with having these guys just having paint guns, and I'm like, okay, I understand it's kind of a dumb censorship, but still. I'm not sure whether or not we've seen that dragon before. I think we have. I'm pretty sure. I think. Maybe not. Maybe that's one of the new dragons I was talking about. I'm not sure. Like, again, I'm not 100% sure. It's been a while since I've seen some of these dragons, so it kind of makes sense why they reuse them. It's like, and we haven't seen these dragons in a while, so it's like, it makes sense why you'd reuse them and all that, right? But, whatever. Again, I don't have a big issue with that. I'm just stating the obvious. It's like, oh, they're reusing dragons, and okay, fine, that's whatever. At least most of the dragons don't go, thank you for releasing me, and that's it. So at least there's that. Oh yeah, by the way, there's a chest over there, like I said before, but there's a way to get to it, specifically. Or there's a way to do that, specifically, and we'll get to that when we get to that. Okay, yep, okay, just double checking that one. First, let me rescue Cletus. Okay, yeah, we definitely saw you. Yeah, that's a good comeback there, Spyro. Like seriously, that really is. I do like some of the comebacks Spyro has. They're pretty good, honestly, or at least they're pretty nice. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, right. There's a reason why I wanted to raise up that bridge, and it's because of this. I don't know why there's no animation for that doing that. I don't get it. It's like the chest just stays there for a second, and it's really, really awkward. But whatever, I guess. I don't know. That was really, really weird. But yeah, it's a little bit easier to get from, you know, the chest to here from there. Doing it this way, well, technically, I think you can go either way. Like, you can go either or. In, like, where you want to jump from. Because, well, I think it's a little bit easier from here since you can just jump from there, jump from over there, and just go all the way over there, stuff like that. But, yeah, I wanted to kill two birds with one stone because I knew there was something both up here and up here. So I thought, yeah, I want to get to this, so I might as well just, you know, raise up that platform, immediately just run off and... Oh, hey there! Hey, little buddy. I really wish I could get to you, but I don't want to get to you because, you know, you're too far out of the way for me to care. So anyway, so yeah, you know, it's a little. So you know, I want to kill two birds with one stone there. Just immediately get to there, finish off those Gnorcs that were up there, and get the gems. That's all I really wanted to do because it was way quicker than actually like doing the other thing where it's like, you know, just going the other route. I'm pretty sure it's a little bit harder to go the normal way if you lowered the bridge. I think. At least I think that's the case. I'm not 100% sure. Whoa. Hey, look. Another thing on, like, this whole Splatoon weaponry thing. I don't know. I think it's alright of a change, I guess. Look, if Nerf can make literally the Overwatch guns into Nerf guns, then I think this is fine. By the way, yes, that's a thing. Nerf has decided to make Overwatch brand, or at least like a version of some of the characters' guns into Nerf guns. Really quick to explain, or at least give an example of who they used. They used Diva, they used McCree, and they used Reaper. So, Reaper, McCree, and Diva all have Nerf gun variants of their stuff. I can no longer take Reaper in any way seriously, period, now. You see, the character is supposed to be threatening and all that, and that's fine and dandy for him, I guess. But I never took him too... You guys saw that, right? What the hell? Anyway, I never took him too seriously because it's like... He's trying a little bit too hard. Not only did he change his name from, like, literally just a normal guy name, Gabriel. And I know Gabe isn't that threatening of a nickname, but still, like, Gabriel? Really? Doesn't seem that, like, much of a difference, or... Doesn't seem all that, like Gabriel is actually kind of cool of a name, but whatever. Anyway, he changed it to Reaper. He put on a mask that's white and wears a black trench coat. And now he just literally says stuff like... repositioning, or you know, whenever he does certain things. He even screams die, die, die whenever he does his ultimate. You can't tell me that's not trying to be too hard to be edgy or something. And I understand he has a tragic backstory, but still, it's like, still, man, you're trying a little bit too hard there, don't you think? I will say though, at least another like main reason why I don't take him too seriously is because I learned that his voice actor was Blue from Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. Anybody remember that show? Or anyone remember that character either? Because I do, and I think it's hilarious the fact that he plays Blue of all characters. It's like, you really got that voice actor to do that? It's like, don't you think that's a little bit weird? Okay, I'm sure he does a good job of being a threatening voice. It's just that I can't help but imagine Blue, and then the threatening image just goes away. It's like, oh man, that's way too much, and I just think that's so funny. It's just like, oh man, it's like, oh man, it's so funny. It's just like, oh, it doesn't make sense, or it makes sense. It's just that, oh man, it's so funny that at that point I really don't take him seriously anymore. Oh man, it's just funny to think about, and it at least for me it is. Oh man, it's just really funny. But anyway, that ends off Gnasty Nexus and Gnorc Cove. Well, actually, I need to save one more dragon, but it'll come to me as soon as I finish the levels, because this secret level over here only opens up once you've beaten Gnorc himself. I don't know why, but it just does that. So I'll save off the Gnorc boss fight as well as the final secret level in and of itself later, because it's kind of interesting, and there's something else to it. So I'll get to that when I get to that. So for now, I'll see y'all next time in the next video. Until then, sayonara, my bots. Or until then, take care, my bots. Sayonara. I'm still getting used to that.